All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to unlock one of the most essential tools in the entire English language, the present simple tense. Seriously, it's the basic building block for so much of our daily conversation, and by the end of this, you're going to see this simple, beautiful pattern behind it all.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. How do you take a simple, everyday fact and flip it into a question? That's the core puzzle we're going to solve right here, right now.
Okay, let's use a real-world example. My parents watch the news every evening. It's a totally normal sentence, right? It describes a routine, a habit. This is a perfect example of the present simple in action. We're about to take this sentence and learn how to flip it, make it negative, and even turn it into a question.
All right, first up, the basic statement. We got to start with the foundation, the present simple tense in its most natural form.
So just look at these for a second, see what they all have in common. Some are just, universal facts. The sun rises in the east. Can't really argue with that. Others are habits, routines. We wash the car on Sundays. The present simple is the tool we reach for all these things that are permanent or just happen again and again.
Okay, part 2. Now that we've got the basic statement down, let's learn our first transformation, how to make a sentence negative.
So what even is a negative sentence? It's just a fancy way of saying something is not true. And to do this with the present simple, we have these two little magic helper words. Do not, which almost always becomes don't, and does not, which we shorten to doesn't. These two are going to do all the heavy lifting for us.
And here it is, the first key pattern. You've got to see this. On the left, he reads a book. Simple enough. To make it negative, we pop in doesn't. But, and this is the crucial part, watch the verb. The S on reads just disappears. Why? Because it literally jumped over to the do to create does. So the main verb just snaps back to its basic form, read. It's like the S can only live in one place at a time. So what if the verb doesn't have an S to start with? Like in they play soccer? Well, it gets even easier. You just add don't right before the verb. They don't play soccer. That's it. It's so much simpler. No S's to worry about, nothing to move. Easy, right?
All right, on to section 3. So we can state a fact and we can deny a fact. Now let's figure out how to ask for a simple yes or no answer.
This pattern should start to look pretty familiar. We start with our statement again. Catherine goes to school by bus. To ask a question, we just grab does and stick it right at the front. And just like we saw before, that little ES on goes moves over, turning the verb back to its base form, go. The result? Does Catherine go to school by bus? It's the exact same logic. And now for our final transformation. What questions? Because, let's be real, a simple yes or no isn't always enough. Sometimes we need more information.
Now this is the best part, because if you can make a yes-no question, you can absolutely make a WH question. You literally just start with the question we just built. Does Catherine go to school by bus? Then you pick the question word you need, like who, what, where, when, why, or how, and put it at the very beginning. To ask about the method, we add how, and that's it. The rest of the sentence doesn't change one bit.
Okay, let's put it all together now. We've looked at all the different pieces. Now let's see the full, complete pattern laid out right in front of us. This slide right here, this is your cheat sheet. This is the whole system in a nutshell. Look how consistent that pattern is. You start with the affirmative, he reads. To make it negative, you bring in doesn't, and the verb reverts to read. To ask a question, you start with does, and again, the verb goes back to read. Once you really get that pattern in your head, you can apply it to almost any verb you can think of. That is the key.
So, you've done it. You've officially unlocked the pattern for the present simple tense. The code is cracked. So now there's really only one question left. Now that you have the key, what are you going to say first? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.